Today we're going to make a large envelope to store all your ephemera in. Hi everyone, welcome to Hilltop View Journals. Today we're going to make this rather large and lovely envelope to store some of the gorgeous makes that you're hopefully making along with me as we do my Journal with Me series. And if you haven't been following me, I am basically sharing everything to do with how I journal, how I use my journals, and I'm shaking it up a little bit and trying out different things. And one of the things I'm trying to change is doing nothing with my journals once I've written in them, because they get left and they get stacked and I don't finish them. And I've started making lots of embellishments and ephemera to decorate my journals, and I really needed somewhere permanent to store them. So this is the project for today, and it's a very, very simple envelope. It's A4 size, so it will fit a sheet of A4 paper in there. And then I've got all my little makes here, and this project is for larger sized embellishments, and I am going to make another video for smaller envelopes that you can actually use in your journals once they've finished storing all your goodies in, and that'll be my next video. But for today we are going to make this lovely large envelope. And I was inspired by Junkjournal Joy. She has 3 videos on her channel, all making this sized envelope, and she does them all different ways and they are amazing. So I will link the first video in the description, and then you'll find the other 2 videos to go with that as well. So let's get on with making this rather large envelope. Let's start by making the base, and I'm not exaggerating when I say the possibilities are endless. I'm using packaging paper that's come in a lovely box of Stash, and I have measured it to be the size of A4, like that. So I've just doubled it, and you've got A4 there, A4 there, and then a little bit on the end for the flap. That little bit on the end can be any size that you want. I'm not going for a big flap. You could use a couple of sheets of A4, so you could have a separate sheet for that piece and a separate sheet for that piece, and then you'd need a third piece which you'd need to hinge on. Possibilities endless. You can use any type of base that you want. I'm just going to use this for now, and I'm going to fold that over just to get the crease in place. It's probably not straight, but it'll do. And I've got my shape of an envelope all ready, and I'm going to keep the decorating of this envelope really simple and quick. You could of course go to town and do all manner of mixed media and use different images, and with the links that I'm going to put in the description box for Junkjournal Joy's tutorials, you will get a ton of ideas from her. But for me, I just need to quickly put an envelope together so that I can start stashing up my ephemera. I am going to be using some of Rachel Bella Craft's collage pages, and I've also got some scraps as well. So I've got my little scraps here that I want to use, and these are the types of collage pages I'm talking about, and I'll link the kits in the description box as well. And I love using these types of digital kits, the collage type, because they're great for layers. When you look at them and your eyes go around the page, you can see how Rachel has designed them, and they just all fit together. They're so lovely. And I love the colours as well. So I'm sticking to a sort of a greeny blue theme for today. But they are very inspiring. They're perfect on their own. So if you wanted to make, I mean, that just makes a lovely page on its own. But I'm going to cut into them and use them for collaging and decorating this envelope, just to make it a little bit more interesting. You could leave it completely plain if you wanted to. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I've also gathered some book pages just to provide some contrast in the background. You could also use your scrap fabric, anything that you've got lying around. I've also got some packaging paper here. This was from a cotton wool roll that we recently needed for one of our dogs who split her paw. What a drama. And I've got some other little pieces of Rachel's kit as well, scraps on the side here. Okay, let's make the shape of the flap first. So I'm going to fold this a couple of times so I've got a decent fold. You can see on the camera what I'm working on. And I'm just going to do just a simple rip. I'm using these squares on my cutting board. And that's put that there. And then I can use this one as the template, as long as I get it the right way round. How many times have I done that where I haven't used the right side? I guess we've all made those little boo-boos. And then I'm just going to fold this up a little bit more to the edge there, so you haven't got that gap then. Of course, this is going to look quite scrappy because we're using brown paper. And you may need to trim up your edges a little bit if you want it to look a little bit neater, but I'm happy with how that is. And of course, you could have this flap a lot longer to come down here. It's however you want it to look really, but I'm just looking for like just a standard envelope size. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some book pages on here just to cover up parts of this. And I'm going to stick to sort of rectangular shapes, because that is what appeals to me. I do like other ripped shapes, but for some reason I like to collage in rectangles. There's probably some science behind that. I don't know what the science is though. Maybe if I remember I'll look it up. And I've tried to get contrasting pages where I could. Just different tones, just add a little bit of interest. I've got that piece there. We haven't got much dark, so maybe I'll get another piece of this gorgeous Welsh dictionary, which is very brittle, but it is beautiful, so I do like using it. And I'm just going to arrange these in a way that looks, I guess, right. It looks right to me. So I don't want to spend too much time doing this because it's only a base. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to glue them together lightly so that I don't lose the position. Most of them will be covered up anyway, I should think, by the time I finished. Let's pop that up a little bit up there. Well, I can glue those down a little bit better when I'm ready to do the finished piece. So I've automatically gone over to the left side of the envelope, which means I need to think about how I'm going to do this side. But we'll get to that when I need to. So I'm going to keep my little pieces over there. And then I want to add in some colour. And I'm just wondering if I can use this because it is so beautiful. And I'm guessing I'm going to need to rip it. So let's do that now. I'm going to try and copy this doodle as well because I love it so much. There we go. So we can work that in. I'm going to try and use my scraps where I can. So it's just building up the layers as you go, just trying different positions and trying not to worry about actually covering up the previous layer. Just letting yourself play with what's in front of you.
Thought it'd be golden, crossing the line and don't look back. Think I was broken, I needed some time to clear my head. 'Cause I've made all the mistakes and I've dealt with the heartbreaks, but I think that I found my way. 'Cause I've been sinking like a stone, Carolina, take me home. Nothing's ever really broken, I won't let you go. 'Cause I'm finding my way right back to you. I'll find my way back to you. I see a river floating its way out to the sea. I can remember carving our names onto that tree. just wanna see you. 'Cause you will never know just how much I've been missing home. 'Cause I've been sinking like a stone. Carolina, take me home. Nothing's ever really broken. I won't let you go. 'Cause I'm fine.
Okay, that's one piece. I'm going to whiz this now through my sewing machine just to get it all secure, and then I can glue it down in one piece. And just straighten that a little bit because it's a bit squiff. There we go. And I shall be back in 2 ticks. I've stitched it directly onto the paper, so you can see my messy stitching here, which is pretty abysmal, as usual. And the machine decided to have a hissy fit, as she does. And what I want to do now, before I glue it all down properly, is I'm just going to do some ripping. And probably not the best time to do it when it's all in place, but we'll do our best not to mess it up. This could always be a little tuck spot as well if you wanted to do that. And I think what I'll do as well is a little bit of stamping. And what have I got here? I've got this brown stays on. And use my trusty script stamp. Oh, I tell you what I also wanted to do. Oh, I'll stamp first, and then I wanted to add a little bit of doily. I don't know why I'm doing it all over. It doesn't really need it. Just pop a little doily there. Oops, I'm ripping it a bit now, which is not the best idea. It's probably because it's got stitching on it. Okay, and I'm just going to glue all around here now. And I'm going to fix that little rip with some washi. Which hopefully will prevent it from getting worse. Okay, if you've used plain white A4 paper, you may want to also do some decorating in here, but I'm happy to leave this plain. You could cover it, you know, I could cover it with something like this, so then it would have some pattern when you open it, but I'm quite happy just to see the inside of the paper. And I'm going to make some gussets here to make this a little bit more open. But you could, at this stage, if you wanted to, glue all these up if you aren't going to put some kind of brad or anything here. On Junk Journal Joy's video, she puts a closure here and loops round the material or strings, sorry about that. And then she wraps it around, and then she wraps the string all the way around as a closure, so she doesn't have a double closure. But I tend to do a double closure. So you could glue this up now, and you're pretty much done. But I am going to strengthen this part. Not too sure what I'm going to do on the back. I might just put some digital kit or something on the back there just to strengthen that part. And I want to put some gussets here to give it a little bit more space inside, and it'll be easier to slip your hand in and out then. I think what I'm going to do now is do this top part, and I want it contrasting with this, so I don't want to do the same kind of collage work, because I think it'll just be a little bit overpowering. So I'm going to find some suitable paper to add on top of that. I'm going to use this pattern paper, and I think it's Pink Monarch prints, I believe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out the shape. And I'm going to trim just inside the lines. And I'm fully expecting to have to do this a couple of times because I never get it right. So I need a bit off the top and a bit off the sides. And that gives it a bit more structure, and you can also do it on the inside as well. But I'm quite happy with the way that is now. I may do something a little bit later on the inside, see how it goes. Haven't quite decided yet, and I still haven't decided what I'm going to do on the back, but I am thinking of just using something pretty simple to decorate. I don't know yet, but we don't have to do the back. What we have to do next are the gussets. And what I think I'll do is I'll use these. I'll use this sheet of paper, and all I want to do is cut off 2 strips, and I'll cut them the same width. Which is, I think, 3 centimeters I'll go for. 3 centimeters is about 1.25 inches. Let's measure these. And so the pattern that I want showing on the outside, I'm going to fold inside. And I will be gluing it to the 2 sides of the envelope, front and back, like that. So then you will have a little gusset there. But I'm not going to glue them in place yet because I want to stitch around. So if you're not going to stitch, then you can glue at this stage. You can glue it in place, and then that will seal up your envelope. But I'm going to do my stitching now, so I'll zip around all the edges, and then I'll be able to put my gussets on. I've decided to strengthen this end piece here, so when the items are going in and out, it will hopefully give it a little bit of durability. And it's one of the handy things about using a standard size piece of paper for your envelope, is then you've got enough paper scraps to do this. So I'm just going to pop this in place before I do the side pieces. I'll wait for that to dry, and you can add a little bit of a notch in there as well then. I think that might look quite nice. Leave that dry for a second and find my notch puncher. And the other thing we need to do are the closures, particularly this closure, if you're going to add one, before you glue everything in place. And for that I need some contrasting scraps, so the blue would be great. So if I do a blue button there, I wish they had the size of these on the punch, but they don't. I imagine it's about 1 inch. Yeah, it looks 1 inch. So I'm just going to do 1 inch button. Badly, because it's slightly blunt. Of course it is. A bit better. So that will go there, and on the other one I will use this. So there's my 2 circles, and let's put this thumb notch in before I forget. So I've inked all the way around there now. And can you see what I've done? I can't believe I've done this. I've done a thumb notch in the wrong piece. How hilarious. It's supposed to be in there. Oh, you gotta laugh, haven't you? You've really gotta laugh. Don't ask me why I did that. I obviously wasn't thinking quite right at the time. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that now. You gotta laugh at yourself, haven't you? I was looking at that then thinking, that looks really odd there. I don't know what I've done wrong there. Yeah, I'll have a think about that in a minute. But anyway, I punched out 4 pieces of card here, which I'm going to glue together. While my brain works on how I'm going to fix that little boo-boo. So I'll leave those dry for a second, and then I can ink around the edges and then punch holes in them. Now then, what am I going to do with there? It looks a bit odd, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm going to have to glue a piece there. Like that. And then make some kind of feature of it somehow. So we'll try and do that now. So let's just glue this first. Okay, hilarious. And let's pop some holes in these. I'm going to use the smaller punch on my crocodile, which is the 1/8 hole. There we go. Get some brads. And let's see where I need to put this now. It would be good if I could actually put that there, wouldn't it? It's not going to cover it though. Pop some more holes in. Then I'm going to add my brads. And cover that with washi. So there's my little closures. Okay, starting to come together, and you know, apart from the little mishap there, it's all looking all right. So I do kind of need to tidy this up a little bit. So I think I'll just do a little collage. Try and use up some of the scraps I've got, that I've accumulated. There. That's that covered up. Right, let us do our gussets now. I changed my mind and I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to glue it that way because I think the other way won't work. So I've pulled it off, made quite a hash of things, but it's nothing that can't be fixed, I'm sure, because I just need to fix that bottom piece there. And these things happen, you know. You don't learn if you don't make mistakes. And I'm going to use a little bit of washi on that piece there that's not quite covered. So that will give a little bit more room to go in and out. And again, make sure that that top piece is glued down well. I love this washi, but it's such a pain to pull out. And I'm not going to stress about it too much. Certainly looking scrappy. So that's got plenty of room to go in and out now. And I just need to and we just need to sort out the closure. I'm going to use some hemp cord, and I'm going to tie a piece just around the top one here. Okay, and then just wrap around this enough times to have plenty of room. So the closure is done. I have to think about what I'm going to do on the back at some point. But for now, the best bit is filling it. So I've been using these plastic containers, and they're okay for holding the small pieces of ephemera, but they're not practical. They're too bulky basically, and I doubt I'm ever going to fill them. So the small pieces are going to fit into some smaller envelopes, but the larger pieces are going to fit in here. I could put the smaller pieces in here as well, but I do want to make 5 smaller envelopes that will then go with the respective signatures when the signatures are complete. And that's another video. So for now, I'm just going to make sure that these are put together, because they are based on the journals or the signatures that they're going in. So let me just check. So this is signature number 5. And let us make sure that stays on there. So I don't want to get them all mixed up. So that fits in lovely. This is going in my sketchbook journal, these little goodies. So they are going in there. And then these are the bigger pieces for journal number 2, or signature number 2, I should say. So they will all fit nice and neatly in there. Let's pop these out the way. And I can now keep them safe and store them easily in any type of tray or anything. So I'm really happy with that. And most definitely go and check out Junk Journal Joy's videos. She's got 3 videos where she makes 3 different styles of large journals. So they're large envelopes, I should say. So they're really worth having a look at and seeing her techniques. And she certainly gets the gusset bit done a lot easier than what I did. I hope you found the video today interesting and useful, and if you haven't made one of these before, they are great fun. You can make them out of anything. You could make it out of fabric, any type of paper, any scraps that you've got, and they're so quick and easy, and you can decorate them as you like, which is what I've done. So please do go and have a go at this, and then share on Instagram or YouTube if you like sharing on social media. I do love to see what you're making, or leave a comment and let me know if you found this video useful. And don't forget, in my next video I'm going to be making some smaller envelopes which will be useful to keep in your journals, and you can keep all kinds of mementos and things like that in there. So please do join me for my next video, but until then I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.